my name is Kate McMahon, and I'm your host today for the gallery. Very excited to introduce our artist of the month, Charlotte Simpson. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you at the Media Center.
Oh, it's exciting to be here.
Yes, and here we are in March, and we've had a lot of gray, so it's just wonderful to see all the bright paintings, not only that we have in the gallery, but what you've brought today for us to chat more about.
Well, I love color.
Yeah.
Color's kind of my approach, so.
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll talk more about these in a minute, but first, can you tell me, I believe you said you live in Yarmouth?
I do. I live in West Yarmouth,
Uh-huh.
and I love it. Moved down about 2 years ago, and it's great.
That's great.
You know, I've been doing, that's when I started painting seriously, and my husband is doing music, and most of our neighbors are either artists or musicians, so it's been perfect for us.
Oh, sounds like a great spot.
Oh, it's awesome.
And it sounds like you've become really active in the art scene as well, and being involved with the Yarmouth Art Guild.
Yeah, that's been fun. They've been wonderfully embracing to me as a newbie and a new artist, and sucked me right in to do the website. And now I'm also the events coordinators.
Oh my, so they're keeping you busy.
Yes, they do.
Well, that's wonderful. We've had a few artists from the Yarmouth Art Guild. They seem like a very active organization.
It is. It's small, but we're growing, and we have been larger. You know, things fluctuate with the times.
Of course.
But it's a dedicated group of some incredibly gifted artists. I feel really honored to be included.
Oh, wonderful. That's wonderful. Congratulations then. So we talked a little bit before we started today about your history with art, and you mentioned it's relatively new.
Well, painting seriously, actually letting people see what I'm painting, that's very new. My mother was an artist, and I grew up with art everywhere and books of art, especially Impressionists, and that I loved, and trips to museums and craft shows, and so I've done that my whole life. And I used to, I made dolls for years and sold them at crafts fairs. And I was also worked in theater as a costume designer and did a lot of quick sketching kind of art. So
Great, great. And you said 2 years you've been creating?
about 2 years.
art
I
novels?
actually started a couple of years prior to that working with Karen North Wells in Brewster, who's a very amazing artist here on the Cape. We mostly fought. She'd say darker, darker, and I'd say lighter, lighter, or vice versa. I've spent a whole year doing a tree.
Oh, wow.
The background took a year. The tree took about 30 minutes. That painting is here on your wall. So, but I do them a little more quickly now.
Experience, right?
Yeah, although I have one that I'm doing that's taking me a couple of months now. I've been working on this little tiny picture. It's, I'm going to tell more about that when I get to this
You'll know it,
one.
right? You'll know it when it's done.
Yeah, it's almost there.
That's good.
It's almost there.
That's great. So you mentioned that you've been using acrylics for the last 2 years, but
Right.
also experimenting with some other art.
Well, there was a fabric show over at the Cultural Center, and I thought, well, I'm going to play with fabric. So I have a goat that started out acrylic, and then it's now a mixture of acrylic and fabric and yarn and leather, and still working on the goat. Missed the deadline, but I'm still working on the goat. But you never know where inspiration's going to come.
Yeah, good for you. I love it. Absolutely love it. Not afraid to try new things.
Oh, I love trying new things.
That's great. So let's take a minute and talk about these pieces that you brought in.
Okay.
How about if we start with the one in the back?
Okay, well, I call that one Sailing Loch Ness.
Sailing Loch Ness.
Because that's what we were doing. We were in a boat out on Loch Ness. We went to Scotland last May, and I still get tingles. It was such a wonderful, wonderful trip. The people were fabulous. Everywhere we went, there were just amazing things to see. And of course we went to Loch Ness, and of course I did see Nessie. No one else on the boat did, but I saw Nessie. You just have to know where to look.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is Urquhart Castle here on the right, and that was my impression of Loch Ness.
Yeah.
I did another one on the road to Culloden, which is here on your wall. That's was a gift for my husband for our anniversary.
Oh, very nice.
And yeah, so it was very inspiring. This one is also from Scotland. And these two adorable little girls I watched them for over an hour. The older girl was just so special, so nice to her little sister. And they were playing out there doing leapfrog and all kinds of things. Now, it was really cluttered. There was a courtyard that kind of looked like that, but it was up against buildings and other things. But right across the path was the Clyde. And I just decided, I took everything out and just put the river over there. So that is also in Scotland, outside of Glasgow. And this is also, this is my favorite picture that I've done. And one of my bravest, it's my first with human beings, children rather than dogs, because I tend to do a lot of dogs. Okay, so this one, so that's special to me for a lot of reasons. So.
That's very great. They look like they're being very playful.
They were having so much fun.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Kids being outside having fun, you gotta love that.
Yeah, and I have a lot of paintings in the works, mother, daughter, and like fun dresses down by the harbor. I mean, it just, that kind of thing inspires me a lot.
Oh, that's wonderful. So. Yeah, you took the dive and you did a very nice job.
Thank you.
Now here, you mentioned you do a lot of dogs.
I do a lot of dogs.
Adorable guy.
Yes, this is my neighbor's dog, Sam. And I have to confess, I saw another artist do the Van Gogh thing behind cats, and I thought, I got to try that. So I tried that with Sam, but it's inspired me to go and look again at the Impressionists. And there's another painting you have here called Matisse, which I tried to do a cow in the style of Matisse. And I started looking at things. I've been working with Degas, I've been working with more Van Gogh. I've just been trying to understand the style. And the picture I told you about earlier, the little one I've been working on forever, is actually Seurat's Sunday in the Park with George, which is a massive painting, pointillistic with dots everywhere. Yeah. Well, I've done this little tiny picture, and it's the same park, more or less, and the same pond, more or less, but the people are all cats.
Oh my.
So there's like 30 different cats in there, and I'm doing these little tiny points, So that's why this one is taking me forever. I'm trying to catch the feel of that amazing painting.
Sure.
But have fun with it.
Great. Well, good for you.
So.
Awesome. Well, I really thank you very much for sharing your art with the audience today, as well as hanging your more art in the Media Center.
Well, you're welcome. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that we should share with the audience?
No, I think we've covered it. I hope they come down. I hope they keep a watch on for all the events that the Yarmouth Art Guild is doing. We hope to have shows this summer in Yarmouth, across from the farmers market in July.
Good.
Yeah, and we have other things. I'll have another show coming up here in Dennis in June.
Wonderful.
Called All Creatures Great and Small, myself and some other people, and that one will be all the animals. So
wonderful.
Lots of cows for some reason.
So thanks again for being here today. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you, Charlotte.
Oh. Thank you.
We'll see you around at the craft fairs on the Cape this summer.
All right, thank you.
Look forward to it. And thank you so much for joining us for Gallery today. My name is Kate McMahon, and we'll see you next time.